You're not eating, Alyson. You need your strength.
Not hungry, Lucas. Just tired.
The bond.
Don't!
Children of the moon, children of the night, we stand victorious, but peace must be guarded. The unique situation born on the battlefield presents both a challenge and an opportunity. The Blood Wolf Pact between Alyson of the Crimson Flang and Count Camien of the Night Shadow Court will serve this new era. You two will act as primary liaisons, oversee the peace treaty, mediate disputes, and eradicate the Hunter remnants.
Work together?
It would seem that our fates are further entangled, Miss Alyson.
Don't mistake proximity for agreement, Count. We do what is necessary for our people, nothing more.
Naturally. Our condition is a tactical alliance. A necessary inconvenience.
Then we understand each other perfectly. I need air. The victory was supposed to be freedom. Instead, it built a gilded cage, and the lock is on the inside.
Don't just stand there!
The high of using the bond crashed like poison. Ice and fire tore through my veins at once.
Don't touch me! That curse might make us fight well together, but it changes nothing!
As you wish. The threat is neutralized. We should report back.
In the silent war between us, the first cut had been made. I came home alone, but home no longer felt like mine. Wood smoke, roasted meat, pack scent, none of it soothed the hollow in my chest. This is peace. This is what I wanted. It was not peace. It was absence, and absence hurt more than I was ready to admit.
I am not aching for a vampire. I am not.
I ran to outfly the emptiness. It ran with me.
Couldn't sleep either? The bond?
The bond?
He's suffering too. Scouts near the Night Shadow borders report disturbances, cold spots, restless bats. Count Camien isn't as unfetched as he looks.
I don't care. I hope it hurts. The news should have satisfied me. Instead, it struck like worry.
This thing is changing me. I can't think. I can't sleep. I feel like I'm losing my mind. I want it to stop.
Maybe fighting it is the problem. The elders say ancient bonds punish resistance.
Then I'll find another way. I'll sever it. Dawn brought no comfort. Only one clear truth. I had to find a way out of this bond, even if it killed me.
To seal this new era, the two bound by faith must bind our peoples with a clasp of hands.
A Lycan and a vampire touching by choice would have been unthinkable a year ago. Today, we were ordered to perform it. This was not pain. This was power. It felt ecstatic. It felt right.
The Lycan girl seems strongly affected.
A predictable reaction. Lycans are creatures of raw emotion. The bond is a strategic asset, but also a vulnerability. It must be controlled, studied. She is a variable, an anomaly, but one that can be managed.
An anomaly. A manageable anomaly.
I need a mission. The hunter remnants are regrouping here. A small scout can gather intelligence. I can leave at once, alone.
Alone? That is a long way. The strain of the bond.
The elders don't know what it's like to have your soul chained to someone who despises it. Please, Alpha. I need space.
Go. But you have 1 week. If the bond strain becomes too much, you turn back. That is an order.
I understand.
Hunters. Good. A purpose. Come here.
Foolish, reckless wolf.
The hunters?
Dealt with.
Don't touch me. I don't need your pity.
Pity. This is not pity. This is damage control. Your reckless stunt could have killed us both.
Better that than being your manageable anomaly.
You think I wanted this? This tether? This constant noise in my head?
I don't care what you want, just leave me alone.
You are recovered enough to travel. We return to the treaty outpost today.
I'm aware. What's the plan?
The direct route is compromised. We take the high path through the Serpent Spine Ridge.
The eastern approach is too exposed. There's a gully north of here. Narrow, defensible, and it cuts the climb in half.
The gully is a potential trap.
Only if you're being chased. If you're the hunter, it's a choke point. Leon's senses work better there than vampire sight in open terrain.
Very well. The gully it is.
We wait for nightfall. Their night vision is poor.
No. At night, the gully fills with predators. We move now while they're distracted. We cross there during the loudest part of their march. They'll never look up.
Lead the way.
This professional distance, it's for the best.
It is efficient.
Come in, my dear. I heard you were playing hero in the wilderness. It suits you.
Serafina, your concern is, as always, touching.
Alyson of the Crimson Fane, is it? How sturdy you look. These ancient bonds can be so draining on the lesser composition. Do take care not to exhaust yourself.
Thank you for your concern, Duchess. My constitution is more than capable of handling its commitments. Count Camien, the patrol sails for the eastern border need your approval before dawn.
Of course. If you'll excuse us, Seraphine. Duty calls.
That was unnecessary.
Was it? Should I have thanked her for insulting me?
Seraphine is a viper. Engaging her gives her exactly what she wants.
And ignoring her tells everyone I can be managed. Is that still your plan?
You have no idea what you are playing with.
And you have no idea what you've bound yourself to. I am not a problem to be managed, Kim. I am a storm.
Obsidian Spire. Seraphine's territory. That's not coincidence.
I had proof, or the beginning of it. But taking it to Camien meant trusting the man who had just treated me like a problem. If he dismisses me, Seraphine wins. If he warns her, everything disappears. The bond told me he was awake, working, focused, but not whether he would choose truth over his own court. The Cold One is smart. He hunts truth. Tell him. He is proud. Bound by rules I don't trust. What if his truth is not mine? Someone needs to look into this. Quietly.
This is serious, Alanza, but it's circumstantial. To accuse a duchess, we need proof that won't get you killed for slander.
She was right. That made it worse, not better.
This carries more weight if it comes from your partner. The pact gives your words authority in joint matters.
I can't. I just can't. I chose my pack over the partnership the bond demanded. I chose silence over trust. The moment I left Brenna's room, the bond changed. Camien's concentration sharpened into cold suspicion. The next day, the outpost felt ready to explode. Camien knew something was happening. He just didn't know what.
Alyson, my dear. Still brooding over our little misunderstanding?
I don't brood, Duchess. I observe. One must be careful not to observe the wrong things, or draw the wrong conclusions. A peace offering? I have no interest in your game, Seraphine. Does the mighty Crimson Wolf fear a simple flower, or only my gifts? Refusing would look like weakness. Accepting meant stepping into her web. The pain was cold, wrong, deliberate.
What did you do?
I offered a flower. Someone fetch a healer. The poor girl seems unwell.
What happened?
A tiny prick from a thorn. She must have a rare allergy. How unfortunate.
You will see a healer.
Let go of me. It was a trick.
Enough, Alyson. This is not the time for your accusations.
Perhaps the strain of the bond is taking its toll. Such a primal connection can be destabilizing.
Explain yourself.
She poisoned me. It was on the thorn. It was a setup.
Seraphine is a duchess of the Blood Court. She would not resort to such childish tricks.
Or is it easier for you to believe that than to believe the anomaly you're tied to might be right?
This is exactly what I warned you about. Reckless emotions, refusal to think.
My refusal to think? I found evidence, Kamien. Reports linking her forges to hunter weapons. I was going to tell you, but I didn't trust you to believe me over one of your own. And look at you now, proving me right.
What evidence?
Kale's reports. Obsidian Spire weapons. A denied request for deeper investigation. A bureaucrat afraid of provoking Serafina.
You withheld vital intelligence from me. You took it to your own people instead of your partner. You let personal feelings cloud your judgment, and now you've given our enemy the perfect ammunition to discredit you.
Get out.
Allison.
Get out before I do something we'll both regret.
I saw the poison. I saw the truth in her eyes. And I still chose the easier lie. A known cipherfoot of Serafini's house. Not proof. A thread. Enough. The Obsidian Spire. I want every recent weapons in conniption and the movements of Duchess Serafina's couriers for the last 6 months, discreetly. It will be done, my lord. There is another matter. The Lycan scout Kale was found dead this morning in a border skirmish. Officially, a hunter ambush. Coincidence is for children. This was a message. Prioritize the spire. I hurt my mate.
Mate.
What do you want?
Save it. I don't want your excuses. I don't want your cold, calculated regret. Just leave me alone. The bond screamed between them, but neither pride nor hurt knew how to bend.
The scout, Kale. He's dead.
What?
It was made to look like an ambush. I am looking into it. Into everything.
It was not an apology, but it was the first time he said, without saying it, that I had been right.
Looking into it. Good. Do that. The physical door opened for a moment. The real one stayed closed.
The days after the door became a tense silence with teeth. Kamien hunted in secret. I threw myself into work hard enough to stop feeling anything else. Seraphine felt it too. Something had changed. She no longer had complete control of the board. Esteemed members of the Council, we are neglecting a far greater strategic asset and liability. I speak of the Bloodwolf Pact. The room changed the moment she said it. This was not concern. This was an attack. It is unstable, as we have all witnessed. The emotional and physical toll on the Lycan Hoff has been concerning, and the death of the Scout Kale raises serious questions.
What are you suggesting, Duchess?
A committee should study the Pact. Stabilize it, led by those with ancient knowledge and emotional control. Not for peace, for power.
The pact is a matter between Count Kamien and myself. It is not a committee matter, it is not a subject for study. Your concern is noted, Duchess, and dismissed.
Or are you allowing personal attachment to cloud your strategic judgment?
Can you truly vouch for the stability of your counterpart after her recent public episode?
The stability of my counterpart is not in question.
Her courage, her strength, and her loyalty to this alliance have been proven at great personal cost. It is the stability of those who would manipulate this pact for their own gain that should concern this council.
Where are you going?
To my chambers. To plan.
Alone.
We had spent days avoiding each other. Seraphine had just made that impossible.
My quarters, less likely to be observed.
Very well.
It was not trust, not yet. But it was the first choice we had made in the same direction.
I have a contact inside the Obsidian Spire. Lysander is en route. We should have answers within 2 days.
I'll have my people dig into Kale's last movements. There may be witnesses the official report missed. No apology, no blame. Just intelligence, risk, and the shape of a shared enemy.
Seraphine will strike back. She will aim for the Pact. For you.
I can handle myself.
I know you can. But she will use poison, lies, and prejudice. You cannot fight that with strength alone. You need strategy.
It was the closest he had ever come to saying I was more than a problem to manage. For the first time, we weren't surviving the bond. We were using it.
Allison.
Just be careful, Camion. She's dangerous.
I know.
It was not peace. It was a ceasefire. Fragile, unspoken, and real.
Their target is listed as a high-value symbol of the abomination. We need to draw them out. Let her think she has an opportunity.
Too dangerous, we'd be walking into her trap.
Precisely. But this time we control the ground. They're here.
Left.
An abominity from start to finish. It ends now.
The pain that hit through the bond was not a feeling. It was a detonation. His agony tore through my soul like fire. The bond should have shattered. Instead, it erupted, wild, protective, alive.
Why? You idiot, why?
The war vanished. The hurt vanished. There was only him, fading in my arms.
Not an anomaly. You are my...
He didn't finish the word. He didn't need to. The bond was already screaming it. I could not reach the outpost in time. Which meant I needed a miracle. Or a legend.
Please, save him.
The weapon that should have severed us was erased by the thing it could not understand.
Allison.
For the first time, there was no conflict in the bond, only truth. You saw.
Everything. And you are still here.
Where else would I be?
I was wrong about everything. The bond was never a curse. It was a gift. A second chance I was too proud to see.
He was not giving me strategy or duty or distance. He was giving me the truth.
We go back together.
Together.
Seraphine was still out there. The war was not over, but the war between us was done. We left the spring as something new, not two enemies tied together, not two allies by necessity, one force in two forms. Seraphine thought her poison had worked. She was about to learn what she had actually forged.
Without Count Camia, our defense is compromised. The pact has failed. We must consider the Duchess' proposal.
The pot has not failed.
We know everything.
Duchess Seraphina supplied the hunters through the Obsidian Spire, silenced the scout Kale, and attempted to murder us both to sever the bond and seize power through the chaos that followed.
Lies! The bond has driven them mad! They are the danger!
You preyed on fear, on prejudice, on every old wound between our people. But you made one mistake. You thought the bond was a weakness. It is our greatest strength.
The records confirm payment, shipments, and courier routes.
She still did not understand. There was no opening between us anymore.
The pact is sealed, not by ancient magic alone, but by choice, by blood, by sacrifice. It is the future, and you are the past.
Alyssum of the Crimson Flang, my mate, my equal, my heart. The bond chose us, but I choose you. Now and forever. Will you complete the pont with me? Will you be my Luna, not by fate, but by your own free will?
I chose you the moment you threw yourself in front of that dagger, you fool. And I choose you now. Yes.
The pact stands. There were no longer Lycans on one side and vampires on the other.
And so do we. There was only a future no one could deny anymore. "5 years later, the hall that once held suspicion was full of laughter. The pact had become the foundation of a new world.
They're gonna wear out the stone floors.
Let them. They have energy to spare.
You were never an anomaly. You were the missing piece my soul had searched for through empty centuries.
And you were the anchor I never knew I needed.
The war was over. The pact was complete. And our forever had only just begun.